Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on CAD-CHF? Let's make a full breakdown. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, it is pretty clear that the market has created a very nice impulse to the downside, followed by this correction. And exactly from here, we wanted to see the next impulse to start to the downside. And what did we want to see it exactly from this level? Now, if you remember in our previous analysis, what did we say? When the market was around this area, we said, clearly, if we want informations on this retracement, we have to take our Fibonacci on the impulse. So from the high to the low of this impulse. And we had a perfect 0.618 retracement, which is the golden ratio, lining up perfectly with this a previous support here, now turn resistance. So we had previous monthly support, now turned resistance at this area, lining up with the 0.618, creating a confluence of resistance at this level from which we definitely expected the market to give us this move to the downside, which is exactly what the market did. Going down on the weekly time frame, what do we have now? On the weekly, we clearly have a market that from these major lows has started this move to the upside. And currently, the market from a monthly perspective is kind of trapped, from a weekly perspective is kind of trapped in between the support that we have here and at the same time the resistance that we have at this level here. Because keep in mind that the last time that the market went to the upside before making this weekly impulse to the downside is exactly this level here. Plus, if we want informations on this retracement, we have to take our Fibonacci on the weekly impulse. So from the high to the low of this impulse, and we can see that currently the market has just rejected at 0.618. Specifically, what did we say in our previous analysis on CAD-CHF? Now the market was here, and we said from here, we want to see CAD-CHF give us this move to the downside to go and test this previous support, now turn resistance. And I will link this previous analysis in description. That is exactly what the market did. The market gave us the retracement to the previous resistance, now turned support. And currently the market, as we said, is kind of trapped inside of this weekly resistance and weekly support. However, it is also in the decision area for which will be the next move for this pair. What do I mean? I mean that inside of this area here, okay, that is exactly where we have the completion zone of this W formation. So exactly the previous daily resistance now turns support at this area. And in creating this move to the upside, the market created a nice impulse, correction, and from a pattern perspective on the daily, you would like to see the continuation to the upside. However, this is exactly the decision area for CAD-CHF if it will actually manage to break to the upside, rejecting this support, or break this support to the downside. Now, if the market on the 4-hour time frame will show clear bullish price action, which by the way at the moment it still hasn't, because at the moment we are still clearly in a bearish structure. If the market will show inside of this area proper bullish price action, we can definitely expect the market to give us this move to the upside. On the other side, if from here the market will break this area to the downside, then it will show another setup, what kind of setup the market will provide. Now, if from here we see a break back to the downside on the retest of this level, that is where the opportunity will come. Because inside of this area, there is the possibility to monitor price action on the 4 hours, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. That is exactly what we will be doing with students for the continuation to the downside. So as usual, it's very important to be reactive and not predictive, because here is where the structure is. And if the market on the 4-hour time frame will provide proper bullish price action at that point, there is definitely the possibility to ride CAD-CHF for a nice long position. On the other side, if the structure will remain as it is right now on the 4 hours, this area will easily break to the downside, and on the retracement back inside of this area, that is exactly where we will be monitoring price action with students, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And at that point, if the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the continuation to the downside and creation of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside. Now, if we check what we have at the moment from a COT perspective on the two currencies, so what the biggest banks and institutions are currently doing on the CAD and on the CHF, we can see that from a CAD perspective, net positions went from minus 12K to minus 23K. So clearly net positions decreasing, however, shorts are not getting added from an institutional perspective yet. Obviously, we have the new report coming out today. And if we go and see what we have from a CHF perspective, we can see the net positions are greatly increasing to 11K with 21K longs, which is one of the highest levels that we had in quite some time, and 10K shorts. So CHF definitely getting stronger, which gives us the possibility to actually see this move to the downside. That is why we have to be extra cautious in looking at any kind of potential longing opportunity inside of this area. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you. And I will see you in the next video.